Show, the best weekly show in Indianapolis. My name is Jake Russell Smith. I'm going to be your host. Got a great show lined up, very excited about it. You guys ever do something weird, you look back on it, and you're like, I need to start going to therapy, Jesus. The other day, I hit a raccoon with my car, but instead of like being sad or bummed out or being like, ooh, I just went, woo, really loud. Double-fisted the steering wheel, you know what I mean? Give me another, that's what I yelled. Good time. Had a good day today. I watched the new Fast and Furious movie. Has anybody seen it? Fast 9? It's terrible? All right, bud, okay. We wouldn't be friends then. I'm not a big fan of the Fast and Furious movies, but whenever a new one comes out, me and my friends, we like to smoke a little weed and watch them, have a good laugh. Anybody here like to smoke weed?
Yeah.
I misread you guys. We got high as shit, and we watched the hell out of that movie. It was great. So if I seem a little slow or like kind of absent-minded up here, it's because, you know, I just listened to Vin Diesel talk for 2 hours. That dude talks slow. I could feel myself going bald throughout the movie. That's how bad it was. It was rough. He seems pretty dumb. If you were to ask me how many words per minute I thought Vin Diesel could type, my answer would be 12. And if you were like, that's incorrect, guess again, my second guess would honestly be a number less than 12. They did pay him $20 million to make that movie, so it's like, who cares, right? But also he signed the back of that check in 2 different colors of crayons, so it's like, it was really you know. I will say this, if the first 8 Fast and Furious movies weren't really your cup of tea, this is the one that's really going to turn it all around. They got it figured out. They got rid of that Paul Walker guy, and it just took off like a race car. It was great. Oh, dear. I'm sorry. The only aphrodisiac I eat is pussy. Does that make sense? Yeah. Try to hit you in the weird time there. Didn't get it. Fell flat. I'll try it again later in my set. Don't you worry. I'm a pretty disappointing son. Okay, well, that's just the setup. So. You're in for a real barn burner. Pretty disappointing son. I'm not a disappointment, but like it's like when your girlfriend says you're not a dick, but you're acting like one. It's that same type of. Here's an example. I like a rapper named Sheck West. Does anybody here know who Sheck West is?
Yeah, Sheck Jesus.
Sheck Jesus. That's okay. Yep. I've never heard that, but I guess I'm not that big of a fan. Now that I think about it. He's great. For those of you who don't know who he is a rapper who became famous at 16 years old for his hit song Mo Bamba, which is about cooking drugs and hoes calling him on his phone. It's a great song. I love it. For comparison, like Mozart, he started making music at 6 years old, right? But none of his compositions were ever named one of the top 50 albums of 2018, according to Pitchfork. And they certainly never went platinum, so 2 different levels here. This guy's good. My favorite Sheck West song is called Live Sheck West, and I like it because of the chorus. And the chorus goes, Live Sheck West, bitch, I'm dying Sheck West. Bitch! Just like that. He does the line, he yells, bitch! And he does it 4 times, that's the chorus. Chorus 3 or 4 times throughout the song. It's great. But sometimes we'll mix it up. So instead of going, bitch, sometimes he'll go, gang, gang. Or gang, gang, gang. Or, you know what I mean? Just one of those 3. He always does. It's, you know, it's no Strawberry Fields Forever, but it goes hard as hell and it makes me laugh. So I listen to it. My favorite's in the second chorus. Instead of going, bitch, he goes, live Sheck West, bitch, I'm dying Sheck West. Bitch, bitch. He yells it twice, just like that. The old 1-2 as it's written in musical notation. It's great. The other day I was bumping that song on my car on my way to pick up my mom for her birthday dinner. This is where the disappointment comes in. I pulled in, I shut off the car, met her at the door, gave her some flowers, a kiss on the cheek. I love my mama, right? And then she gets in my car, I turn on the ignition, my Bluetooth connects, and before my mom could even finish saying the sentence, Jake, you're the greatest son in the world, the rapper Sheck West yelled the word bitch at her twice on her birthday. It was rough. It's pretty tough. I don't know. Like, I had to call her the other day to come pick me up because my car broke down. Disappointing part, I was at a strip club, so. And I wasn't like at a strip club, you know what I mean? I was just dropping my girlfriend off for work. And she's not a stripper, she just works in the kitchen on the fryers. I was disappointed to find out too. We met on Tinder. I was like, I see you work at a strip club. She was like, technically yes. It's great. Lost my grandpa recently. It was tough. Thanks. Took me about an hour to find him. I didn't know the mall was going to be that busy on a Tuesday, you know what I mean? I was nervous. Finally found him, right? I was like, Grandpa Dale, what are you doing? I yelled at him. That's how I yell at him. And must have startled him because he had a heart attack and kicked the bucket, but... And I don't know who put that bucket there, but he was out of the hospital in 2 days. Good as new. Yeah. So that was at the start of last month, I guess. So that would have been about, I guess, 2 weeks before he got hit by that truck. But it was, that is where my set and my grandfather's life ends. Thank you, everybody. I'm Jake Russell Smith. You guys ready to have a good show? Your first comic is a very funny gentleman. Everybody give it up for Madalano Martin.
Everyone, it's nice to be back here at Black Circle. Jim was talking about therapy. I've been going to therapy for a couple of years, and I love it, man. It's really dope. I'm in what's called sliding scale therapy. It's pay what you want, make it more affordable for working class people. But that also lets you know how Midwestern I am too, though. Like, I'm interested in mental health, but only if it's unsafe. I'd love to be a healthy human being. Yeah, listen, you can't get that price right now. My therapist is a very attractive, very stylish, confident, intelligent woman. So I've not told her anything. I'm like, why are we even here, girl? I don't know. How was your week? Let's talk about you. My therapist is super hot, but we got past it. And by that, I mean I got past it. I think she was already okay with it. And we did a lot of good work, but this is actually true. My therapist recently quit. So I won, right? Yeah, that's what it's about, isn't it? My therapist quit being a therapist to become a realtor. Yeah, that doesn't feel good, right? Clearly, everything she ever told me was a lie. You know? Like, I'm going to find out soon that the strong emotional foundation that I built actually has water damage. My self-esteem is riddled with termites. My inner child is huffing right on. That one's too dark, but I like it. I don't know. That's new. We're working on some shit. Thanks for coming out. It is interesting, man. I got into therapy because I wanted to try to work on myself, like most people that get into therapy. Because I had realized a couple of years ago that I was not the person that I used to be, right? In my 20s, I was a very open-hearted, very optimistic, dare I say naive young man. And I viewed the world through a very beautiful lens, and I'm not that guy anymore, right? A couple of years ago, I just realized, like, I'm very closed off. I'm way more pessimistic, you know? So I actually went out in my backyard, and I declared to the universe my intention to find my way back to that more innocent version of myself. And then the very next day, the first reported case of COVID. So I'm sorry, everybody. Yeah, that's on me. I'm sorry. I tried to swim backwards through the stream of time, and I unleashed some shit. So it's like the universe heard my declaration and was like, nah, bitch, we made you this way, we're going to keep you this way, okay? I'm just trying to be a little bit more optimistic, not be totally an asshole, you know? That's what I'm working on. It's been some challenges, man. The last couple of years have been crazy for all of us, right? Like, COVID was a fucking trip. I learned something very valuable about myself during the very beginning of the lockdown, the pandemic, and the mask era, when we're all masked up all the time for safety reasons. I met several people for the first time during that period, and now I started to see those same people without their masks, and that's how I learned that I'm an optimist. Yeah, I have gotten back there, guys. They're not nearly as attractive as I assumed they were, everyone. This seems to be the part of the face where it goes wrong for most of us, okay? If the eyes are the windows to the soul, this is the busted up cheap plastic Venetian blinds of the soul. This is your first apartment in college of the soul. And I'm not throwing shade. I'm in the same boat, right? I have very pretty eyes, and then it gets bad quick. I have hillbilly teeth. Underneath this beard, I have a weak chin, which is immediately followed by a pretty strong second chin. It's like my second chin looked at my first chin and was like, don't even worry, bro. I got you. We giggle together, we jiggle together. Bad Boys for Life, okay. He brought up Fast and Furious. I'm going to bring up my favorite shitty movie. It has been challenging. Also, last year my mom died. My mom passed away last year. This isn't a long-running bit like Jake's grandpa bit. This is the truth. My mom passed away last year, and my mom had been sick for a very long time. She had COPD, which is a progressive breathing condition. It gets worse and worse and worse. And so last year, during a spike in COVID, she had to be rushed to the hospital. All of her systems started to crash. And she was almost immediately put into the ICU and intubated, put on a breathing machine. And because there was a spike in COVID cases, my brother and I could not go see her, right? We were not allowed in the hospital. It was during lockdown. And so we would just get these updates a couple times a day from the hospital on how she was doing. And a couple of days into her stay there, I got a phone call from the doctor, and he said that my mom had indicated to the staff that she wanted to be extubated, that she wanted to be taken off life support. And they informed her that if she did this, that she would most likely die, and she said that she was okay with that, which wasn't a surprise to me, because she had let me know that she didn't want to be kept on life support, right? She had this long progressive disease, but I knew this was the plan. So, they make some exceptions, because it's end-of-life care, so they let my brother and I come into the hospital. They get us all like fucking wrapped in saran wrap and all this protective gear, right? And we go, and we're there with our mom, and they extubate her, and we're telling her how much, we love her, and I tell her how she's my hero, and she's always meant the world to me, and my brother says some shit that's not quite as good, but pretty good, And we're there with her, and I FaceTime her brothers and sisters so she can say goodbye to them, and we're there with her, and we're holding her hands, and we're there with her, and we're there with her, and we're there with her. And then finally my mom says, "What's taking so long?" Like she's about to leave a bad Yelp review for the hospital. She's like, "I ordered the sweet relief from this mortal coil and it never came!" And so we're just there with her, and she falls asleep, and she wakes back up about an hour and a half later, like super pissed off that she woke up. And we're just there with her, and she'll drift off to sleep and come back super pissed off, right? And after about 12 hours, they kick my brother and I out, right? Because we're not supposed to really be there anyway, so there's all the COVID cases. And so they just send us home. They're like, "We'll call you, we'll let you know." And a couple days go by, and my mom doesn't die, so they kick her out of the hospital and send her home to die at home, basically. So then I had to become my mom's end-of-life caregiver, which means basically I just try to keep her comfortable, like take care of her, give her like ice chips and stuff like that. I got to administer the morphine. Yeah, did you guys know that morphine is sugar-free? It says so right on the bottle. So if there's any diabetics out there who want to start a habit, No? Okay, we're not doing morphine material tonight? Okay. And so that was my life for most of last year. I was helping take care of my mom. And my mom actually stuck around a long time and was pretty mad about it the entire time. But she finally did pass. And I love my mom very much. And she loved it when I did comedy. And she loved it whenever I talked about her on stage. And so that's why I wanted to share that story with you. It doesn't have a big, funny closer. My mom passed away in her sleep. I was there holding her hand when she went. She sat up at the very end and let out these two heavy sighs that I interpreted as fucking finally. That's how it went, right? So I'm sorry that doesn't have a big laugh. I'll do some other jokes, but you can clap for my mom now if you want to. I am trying to be more positive, like I said, and therapy was a big part of that. I've also got some role models that have entered into my life. For example, my plumber. It's very bizarre that my plumber would be a role model, but he is. I have a really old house. My wife and I have this very old house, and it's not historic. It's just old and shitty, right? Until we decide to sell it, then it's historic as fuck. But it's just an old shitty house, right? So our pipes are terrible. They go out to the street. So we have a plumber comes every 6 months to kind of fix them, and I've got to know this dude pretty well. And he showed up a couple of months ago to work on our pipes, and he gets out of his truck, and his eyes are just swollen shut. This giant, massive, disgusting swelling thing in his eye. I was like, "Dude, are you okay? Are you having an allergic reaction?" He's like, "Oh, no, man, it's cool. Yesterday I was doing a job, and I had my saw, my power saw, and I was cutting through a sewage line, and a piece of the sewage line broke off and flew into my eye." Now, I've had some bad days, but I've never had rusty shit metal in my eye bad day. And then still had to go to work the next day, right? I'm just saying we might need universal health care, guys. I don't know.
Get this.
Yeah, that was another meal, and that's not what I want to actually close on. But you guys, it's a free show. We're going to work on some new shit, right? It's going to be okay. I've got like 1 minute left. Let's see what I want to end on. Okay, I'll just tell you this. I am a married guy, like I said. I've been married for 19 years. I've been married for 19 years. Yeah. It is spread over 2 marriages, so not quite as impressive. But I think it still counts, right? Like that math still works. Right? Because being a married man is a very specific job. Right? Look, if you worked at a company for 19 years, and 8 years in, your boss left and you got a new boss, you still work at that company for 19 years. Sure, you might get a new office, their management technique might be different, but you still work there, you know. You do lose half your 401k. That does happen. All right, guys, we've had a lot of mine. You guys have been a lot of fun. God bless Black Circle, the Sunday show.
Keep it going for Madeline Martin, everybody. Gonna wait for your next comment. Very excited. They're a contributing writer to the Bob and Tom Show. Almost couldn't say it. Everybody, give it up for Mariah Davison.
So good to be here, disappointing someone else's parents. Thank you. It's nice. I love the show. I look like I've never been here before. I look like I just left a commune that was started at Lilith Fair. They let me out. It's been a good week. I had a birthday this week. Yeah. Do you guys want to know how old I am? Yeah. Panty liners every day. That's where we are. I've also had a big year. In the past year, I finally got to participate in a big tradition in my family. I got divorced. Yes, yeah, you're correct. It's a clapping divorce, not a crying divorce. You're correct. Because some people get married because of love, right? And some people get married because a period tracking app isn't birth control. Yes. I love being divorced, though. It gives me something in common with my mom. Aside from the eating disorder she gave me. Aw, just my size. I love having that in common with my mom because my family, just like bring you up to speed, my mom got married like right out of high school, had a couple of kids, divorced him, married my dad, a couple of kids, divorced him, string of alcoholics during my formative years, and then remarried her first husband on the 26th anniversary of their divorce being final. Aw. They had gotten back together 2 months prior when my oldest sister, their daughter, invited them both on vacation with her to Hawaii. And she parent trapped them, you guys. She did it. She did it. She got her parents back together, like Hallie and Annie in the Parent Trap. But she didn't have a twin sister, so she had to do it all herself, like Lindsay Lohan in the Parent Trap. So yeah, so where was I? Married to this. Right, so I don't have a family tree so much as a family wreath. That's what I'm trying to tell you. But while my mom and her new husband, first husband, while they were separated, he was married again and had like more kids. So it's less like a wreath and more like an infinity sign, symbolizing all the therapy we need. But I should be real with you guys. I did hook up with one of my stepbrothers once upon a time. And before you get too judgy, it was before he was my stepbrother. It was during the time he was still my half-sister's half-brother, so chill. And we were visiting that part of the family in Arkansas, so I wanted to respect the culture. Felt like that would have been rude. Yeah, and my mom remarried him when I was 21. I got a stepdad when I was 21. Like 21, stepdad, not shooting a porn, what are we doing here? I don't understand why I would need him. And she complained about him like my entire life. It's like gathering up the Smurfs and being like, hey, So Gargamel is Papa Smurf now. Find something to like about it. So I may have gotten married due to an ill-timed factory reset on an iPhone. You have to put the dates back in from memory if you use the app. But I got divorced because I'm gay. Which, like, for those of you who clocked it right away, like, congrats, Sherlock Holmes, it's not that hard now. Wasn't this easy before, my hair was different. It's like a bob, but like a long bob, like a Robert. Threw people off the scent is all I'm saying. I tried to have it all there for a little bit with an open relationship. You'd think that like the tricky part would be having a husband and a girlfriend at the same time, but it was really the kid and the existential crisis that were rough. Because he'd ask me things like, Mom, are dragons real? And I'm like, shit man, I don't even know if I'm real. You guys, he was quiet for a full 20 minutes. If you have kids, you can use that on them. It won't mess them up too bad. But it was weird because I felt like I was financially heterosexual, but socially gay. You know what I mean? Like some terrible sexual libertarian. So I said, that's it, that's enough. I gotta put my money where my mouth is. And I got divorced. Money where my mouth is an oral sex joke, just so, okay. And I do say lesbian because it's easier, it's just like faster, but the truth is I'm attracted to tone arms, like regardless of gender. And I think that makes me bisexual. Right now I'm kind of in a phase where the only thing I can get off to is the thought of my student loans going away. But I think that just makes me an idiot who believed in what I voted for. It's a relief being divorced though. Because the in-laws that came with the marriage were like way more Catholic than I would have ordered a la carte. That's not how that works, unfortunately. And oh my God, they love their wine. They love their wine. And wine invariably has two effects on me. One, it makes me very sleepy, and two, it makes me want to do butt stuff. My ex-mother-in-law was the world's best wingman. She had no idea. She'd just be like, honey, you want some Moscato? And I'm hearing, honey, you want some sweet white butt stuff? No. Sounds better than dry red butt stuff, but no. It was so rough because like with my ex, his parents were so conservative. And it's so much better because with my girlfriend, her parents are so dead. That's her favorite joke. Things would just get unnecessarily polarized with my ex-in-laws. Like there was this one time that we had gotten a lake couch and we were down on the shore. My son and I were tossing the ball back and forth, got away from us out into the water, not all that far. I said, I'll just hike up my shorts, go out there and get it. And then my ex-father-in-law starts going on about how he's gonna go to the boathouse and get the oars, this whole production, and I'm like, no, I'll just hike out my shorts and back and forth, and wouldn't you know it, another debate over Roe v. Wade. Just couldn't keep it civil. I'm originally from Illinois. For a little bit, I moved into North Carolina, and then I moved back here because I have corn Stockholm syndrome or something. I don't really know why. I loved living near the beach. I loved taking my son to the ocean when he was little. There's this one time that he was really excited to get in the water, and he walked up to the shore and said, Mama, can we put wee hands in the water? And I'm like, sure, baby, put your hands in the water. And he says, Mama, can we put wee piggies in the water? I'm like, of course, buddy, put your piggies in the water. And then he says, Mama, can we put wee penis in the water? Wee penis? I wasn't gonna make him leave it on the towel or anything, but I didn't want to coach him to go penis first into situations, because that's how I got him. There was a time when he was a little bit older and no longer talked like Jar Jar Binks. When we saw a little girl down the way who had built a sandcastle, and he was like, "Can I go play with her?" I was like, "For sure." So he picks up his little pail, his little dump truck, and he walks down, and he says, "Hi, can I play with you?" And she says, "No." And he drops his head and walks back, and I was filled with so much pride. Because we all have to face rejection in our lives, and I hope I do it with the grace and class my son did that day. But I was mostly proud of that little girl, because fuck him! Are you kidding me? She had done all that work, she built the sandcastle, she decorated it, and this little fuck shows up with a truck? How many relationships do you know like that? Where she's got her life together, but he's got an F-150. And she's like, "I know he's a piece of shit, but my lease is up at the end of the month and the bed frame isn't gonna move itself." Thanks everybody, I'm Mariah Davis, and have a wonderful night.
One more time for Mariah, everybody. We're gonna keep the show moving right along. This next guy is very funny. He's all the way from Lexington. Everybody give it up for Jeremiah Martin.
How y'all doing? How we doing tonight, guys? Doing good? Oh yeah. Man, I'm glad to be up here. It's a hell of a drive to get here, I gotta tell you that. But happy to be up here. Are we happy that the snow's done? Cold maybe? We're done with this shit? Oh, I'm trying not to, but god damn it, it's already been jinxed 4 or 5 times. I'm over it. Like last year we had so much snow and ice, we actually had a salt shortage. But I found out fertilizer works just as well as salt. At least that's what I told my neighbor when they caught me shitting in their driveway. I'm just trying to be a good neighbor here. No reason to get the cops here, Kyle. Bullshit, man. Like I said, it is a hell of a drive up here. There's so many horrible drivers. I'm pretty sure I got behind every goddamn one of them on the way up here. Have you ever got behind somebody such a shitty driver it changes your worldview based on the bumper sticker? You know? It's like, you know what? Since you waited the last minute to merge, I will not coexist with you. Go fuck yourself. You know? I'm not normally for animal extinction, but since this Prius didn't use their blinkers, like, you know what? Fuck the sea turtles. I'm using a straw for every drink from here on out. Capri Suns all day, every day, baby. Hell, I started snorting cocaine just so I could use more straws, you know what I mean? Coke's pretty good, too. I don't know if you know that. I'm a pretty good driver myself, you know. I'm pretty conscious out on the roads. I don't block intersections. I let people in and out as you should. It got me in trouble the other day, though. I was at an intersection, let a couple cars out. It's my turn to go, so I went. And when I passed by, there was one car I didn't let out. And I realized the 2 cars I let out were 2 old white ladies. The one car I didn't let out was an old black lady. And it fucked with me. I was like, oh my God, I hope she doesn't think I did that because she thinks I'm racist or some shit, you know? Really fucked with me. So I went and killed those 2 old white ladies. Because I'd definitely much rather be known as a serial killer than a racist. One will get you canceled, one will get your own show on Netflix. I feel like the murder's gonna do it before my comedy here, so we're gonna do something. But you see some crazy shit out there on the roads. I saw a car out there that said Jeff's Taxi on the side of it. In the day and age of Uber and Lyft, there was a Jeff's Taxi going around out there. And it wasn't even painted on the car, it was on there with like mailbox stickers. But who's using Jeff's? Who's drunk at a bar like, hey man, you got a phone book back there? You pay phone, I gotta get my ass home. Let's get past A plus taxi, A, B, C taxi. Like, that shit's too mainstream for me, send me Jeff. I feel like Jeff's motto is, hey fuck it, I was going that way anyway. He doesn't even have a set price, it's just like a monster in a cigarette or some shit. When you get there, he's like, holy shit, we made it. Thought you were gonna have to drive for a minute. Jeff's Taxi. Jeff's Taxi's like the Logan's Roadhouse at transportation. They let you eat peanuts, throw the shells in the back floorboard and shit. And that's why the people that should be using Jeff's actually the people that always preach buy local. They don't ever use Jeff. It's because their kids are always allergic to peanuts. Jeff doesn't keep EpiPens in his car. Jeff only has Narcan pens. Jeff likes to party. Man, I'm happy to be out here with y'all. Glad we can be together again and have a little community here. Huh? It's awesome. Especially at the past couple of years we had. I had to do something last year that was wild. I had to do a telehealth phone call. Anybody else have to do this yet? It was cool. It did get weird though when I had to put the phone to my testicles, turn my head and cough. That was wild. Don't even ask me about the prostate exam. That was a mess. There wasn't enough rice in the house to fix that situation. Apparently I don't have good insurance because it was 99 cents for the first minute, $1.99 each edition. I think it was the nurse's first day on the job. She kept saying she was a naughty nurse or some shit. I don't know. Very sexy doctor calls, all I know. Another thing that happened to me over the pandemic is I got broke. Anybody else in here broke? Yeah. How you happy about this shit? I need to hang out with you. You can teach me some things here, you know? I'm a shitty broke man. Like, I actually talked to an attorney about filing for bankruptcy. He was like, Jeremiah, just know if you file for bankruptcy, your credit score won't be over 525 for at least 5 years. I'm like, God damn. You mean to tell me if I file for bankruptcy, I get an even better credit score? Should have did this shit years ago, man. To the point where I can't buy new clothes, you know? I'm just at the point where my shit just eventually becomes trendy again. You know? Styles always come back. You know, I had somebody that were like, bro, where'd you get that sweet vintage shirt? It was like Christmas, 94. Oh, cool. Is that new vintage store downtown that's next to the place where you can pay to pet cats? Nope, I'm not that cool, you know? Just broke. Been trying not to be broke though. I've worked some shitty jobs to not be broke. I got a job at a really cheap eye doctor. It was called Jeff's Eye Doctor. It was really cheap, man. You know the machines they have that blows a puff of air in your eye and check to see if you have glaucoma? I was that machine. I was a manual air puffer. Somebody sits in front of me, I'm just like, does that feel like glaucoma? The thing is, I smoke a shit ton of weed, so I cure the glaucoma as I test it. It's a win-win situation. Then I give them 2 for flinching and shit, you know? I used to be a bartender for a while. I bartended at 2 different bars. I bartended at a redneck joint, and I bartended at a brewery. So they're the yin and yang of each other, you know what I'm saying? Complete opposites. Like the brewery was powered 98% by solar. The redneck joint just bought raw coal and rainforest wood. Keep the lights on. They had that connection. Like the brewery, they recycled everything, their hops, their cans, anything they could recycle, they do so. The redneck joint just recycled outdated ideology and the song Wagon Wheel. Play that shit by 10 different artists and everybody sings along every goddamn time. And the people that come into each one's different too, you know what I'm saying? Like the people that come into the brewery, they're the type of people whose artwork is just one brown line drawn on a canvas, and they can stare at it for hours and recognize that it represents the inner struggle of mankind, you know, and pay thousands of dollars for this thing. I'm like, God damn, my underwear look just like that. I'll take $20 right now for them, you know? The people that come in the redneck joint, they're the type of people whose artwork is basically a portrait of Ronald Reagan, Elvis Presley, and Jesus Christ as Dale Earnhardt's pit crew. Title of that piece is Ain't No Left Turns in Heaven, Dave. But working at the brewery, it was a trip, man. I don't know if y'all noticed I got a little bit of an accent. It's just down the middle of the road, though. You know, some people hear it and they go, well, I bet that guy's going to say something racist or homophobic. And then other people hear it and go, God damn, I bet he ain't even going to say anything racist or homophobic. As far as I'm concerned, I hope they all choke on an Inuit's penis. It's an Eskimo dick, sir. It's the most politically correct way to be both racist and homophobic. But I get this this accent from where I'm from. I'm from a small town in western Kentucky, as far west as you can go. And I go down there a lot, but that trip fucks with me because it was a time change from Lexington to there. Like when it's 7 o'clock in Lexington, it's 1984 in western Kentucky. Like Duran Duran, Reaganomics, and Hulkamania is still huge down there. Still waiting on that trickle down, brother. There's no trickle down. But one thing we did when I was down in that town, did y'all do something called church lock-ins? Remember church lock-ins? It's some weird shit, isn't it? Let's take a bunch of teenage kids when they're most sexually confused and curious. Let's lock them in a huge building overnight that has a bunch of nooks and crannies. Well, feed them Mountain Dew cake and candy, surely there'll be no shenanigans here. That's where all the shenanigans happens at the church lock-in, you know? But I think I realized why they do that. They do that so when the kids leave, they can line them up, smell their fingers. Decide who they need to send to a different lock-in. Called a conversion camp. They pulled me aside and started praying over me. I was like, guys, I just had an itchy asshole. I swear to your God, that's me. That's my beef, right? Turns out an itchy ass will get you sent to some weird camp in southern Indiana for a little while. They got pictures of the Lord and Savior Mike Pence hanging up all over the walls. Like, why can't you be more like our former governor and former vice president and marry a woman and call her mother? Because there's nothing weird about that shit. But no, I don't have any kids. Part of it's because of my grandma. She used to give me some words of wisdom. She'd be like, sit down there, dumbass. Let me talk to you about something. Don't be out there doing stupid shit. Be responsible. I don't want my great-grandkids to be illegitimate. It's like, God damn, what do I look like, an idiot? Of course I'll teach my kids how to read. Never meet those little bastards, you know? But I lied to my grandma. I could never teach anybody to read. I'm not a strong reader myself. Hell, the other morning I thought I was eating breakfast at the interracial house of pancakes. Watching problem and reading problem. No, I'm a single guy. I'm single to the point to where I never cook at home. I always eat out. But it came in handy the other day because I had to open 20 to-go silverware packages so I could use the napkins out of those to wipe my ass. Instead of going to the store for toilet paper like a goddamn normal person. I don't know what part's worse, the fact that I had 20 of those I could open to do that with, or the fact that 2 hours later I had an itchy ass because I had a salt and pepper package stuck in my butt crack. I got sent to some weird camp in Indiana again. It was bullshit. Hey, my name's Jeremiah Martin. Thank you.
Hey, one more time for Jeremiah Martin, everybody. You guys been great. Keep it up. Make sure you guys are tipping the bar staff. They're working real hard for you. Give it up for them one time. Yeah. All right. This next comic is very funny. I love doing shows with him. He's one of my favorites. He's from Bloomington, but he wants you guys to know that he's just happy to be here. Everybody, give it up for Connor Delahanty.
Hey, give it up for my buddy Jake. Give him a nice round of applause. He's a sweet, cute little boy, right? You just want to put him in your vest pocket? No, just me? All right. I am happy to be here. People always think that I'm being facetious when I say that. I say, just tell them I'm happy to be here. And they're like, that's fucking stupid. I am. Are you guys worried that the government's watching you all the time? Anybody? No? I don't know. I don't really mind if they are. I think it'd be kind of cool. It'd be like, ooh, they're tuning in to watch me? Okay. Be a little flattered. I just hope that if they are, like if we are in like a surveillance scene and they're watching all the time, I just wish they'd like throw you a bone every once in a while and help you out. Like there's so many times where I'm just by myself and I do something really cool and nobody will ever see it. I just want to be in my apartment and then like I catch a glass right before it hits the ground and then I just get like a text from Joe Biden with a video link. He's just like, hey, here you go, buddy. That one's on us. I have friends, though, they're freaked out. They think the government's watching them, like, jerk off. Ew. You know, but they'll put, like, tape over their laptop cameras because they think the government's watching them do their stuff. I don't know. I feel like if they really are doing that, that doesn't really annoy me. Like, the annoying part about that is that if the government is watching me jerk off, that's a federal employee. That means he is getting paid with my tax dollars. So that means I'm buying all the tickets and putting on the show? I don't like that business model. I'm just saying, if I do a good job, give me a little rebate on those taxes. I'll do a little OnlyFans for Joe Biden if it gets me some money. I don't care what. Joe Biden, you want me to wear a hat? I'll do that. That's probably what he's into. Old men love hats. But people hate like those targeted ads on like, you know, Instagram and stuff. Like you Google something and then that thing shows up in your feed. I love that because I had a lot of concussions as a kid, so sometimes I forget what my interests are. So please, Google, tell me what my identity is. I would appreciate that. I had to make sure that wasn't just happening in my head. I had to watch someone pick up a phone. Also, who calls a bar on a Sunday night?
Amen.
It's like if you need to see if the bar's open on a Sunday night, you're already drunk at home.
Could I get that and cash out?
Oh man. No, all my ads on like Instagram, they're for testosterone pills. Anyone else getting these? No, I'm the only one who has to get back in the game. Yeah, Google doesn't think I'm getting jacked up enough or something. Testosterone's funky because guys, we all got it, but we don't talk about it. I think that we should. It's just a hormone. Women have hormones and they talk about it. I think that's great. I have friends of mine that be like, hey, I'm on this new birth control, so my hormones are a little out of whack, so I'm in a weird mood. I think that's awesome. I wish fellas could do that. I wish I could just be like, hey, sorry guys, my testosterone's running real high tonight, so I gotta go outside and do some naked push-ups so I can be nice to a server. Because dudes are either running like too high or too low. Nobody's ever at a cool medium. Nobody's like, my tea's sitting just right tonight. Guys, we're gonna have a good one. I'm gonna make you feel safe, but not too aggressive. No. Like, fellas, we gotta come up with some sort of like testosterone revenue sharing system. We just gotta pool it all together and just take out what you need when you need it. You know, like you should have to send a form and it needs to be approved by like an ex-girlfriend or something. It's like, can I have some testosterone so I can go hang out with the boys? I don't know, I just wish I could Venmo one of my buddies some testosterone if he needed it. Like sitting at home on a Friday night, my buddy Jamie texts me, he's just like, hey dude, I'm about to go on a first date, but I'm running low on tea, could you help me out? I'm just like, yeah dude, I'm just watching Mad Men with a boner for no reason, so here you go, 20 units of tea, boom. Because it's always the wrong dude who has too much. Like for every guy out there who's just like trying to have a baby with his wife, but they can't because he can't get it up. There's another guy across town who's being way too serious about an intramural basketball game. And those are the guys that have kids. And, I was at the doctor recently, and I have this syndrome where I'm starting to lose feeling in a couple of my fingers because I have nerve damage in my elbows. That's what's going on. And I was talking to my doctor about it, and I'd like to be able to use my hands, so I want to get this shit figured out. And we were trying to figure out what the cause of this was, and he was like, were you a tennis player? I said, no. And he was like, well, like, did you play baseball or golf, something where you're swinging a lot? I was like, no, nothing like that. But we did finally figure it out. I might lose feeling in my hands because I I sleep like this. Yep, that's what my doctor told me. I've been too cozy for too long. That's the diagnosis on that one. Now I have to sleep with braces on so I can feel. I fucking suit up like an old dad trying to play flag football or something. Just going to bed, honey. I just watched that has my heart rate on. I'm obsessed with looking at my heart rate. Sometimes when I sleep in my braces, in the middle of the night, my heart rate gets down to 30. And my watch sends me an alert that says like, "You alive, dude?" But I want it to get to 1. That's what I want my heart rate to be. I want it to get to 1 beat per minute. And I don't mean like on my way to death or something. I want to be like just chilling. You know, I just want to be just sitting around and then just once a minute, just boom! And wouldn't it be cool if you just saw a wave of blood go through me once every minute? Isn't that what you want out of a comedian? Like, most people show they're calm and collected by, like, being confident and stuff. But me, you just be like, yeah, his heart's barely even going. That dude is chill as fuck up there. Pretty cool. I'll skedaddle on out of here with this one. Thank you. I just got the light. I said skedaddle, so I didn't need the light. Don't you know what skedaddle means? It means I'm about to leave and I don't want anyone to try and fuck me. That's what skedaddle means.
The sweetest guy. He looks like his stepdad. He's a great man.
I've been saying that for years, and one time I said skedaddle, and my friend, he was like, "Yeah, I think all those girls wanted to fuck you until you said skedaddle." But then I was like, why are you surveying people who might want to fuck me? Just, watch the damn show. Well, it's not going to get better than the skedaddle riff, so thank you guys very much. Have a good night.
Yeah, give it up for Connor, everybody! All right, I'm excited to see your next comic. He's very funny. He's a regular at Helium. Everybody, give it up for David Brooks!
Keep clapping or you're racist. Keep clapping or you're racist. I see a lot of whites not clapping. That nigga Connor says skedaddle. Yeah, I want to do something to make sure I'm safe. It's call and response. The only time I'm going to let white people look me in the eye and speak to me. So, when I say white, you say people. White. People. White. People. When I say slavery, you say sorry. Slavery.
Sorry.
Slavery.
Sorry.
You guys sound a little unsure about the second part, huh? I did that joke in Nashville, Tennessee. They did not say sorry. Unfortunately. I've been doing a lot of soul searching about like myself, and I don't mean like therapy. I've been just doing a lot of soul searching about me being black, and I've been apologizing for being black in certain situations, which is embarrassing, right? But dating some girls in my past whose parents don't like that I'm black, and they don't want me to date their white daughter. So then I felt like I had to apologize, and I feel like I should be unapologetically black, because you know what's bad is being unapologetically white, right? That's oh, you guys aren't gonna like this. You better buckle the fuck up. I'll tell you why I think it's bad to be unapologetically white. When I go to Instagram and I see white girls twerking, right, and they're just throwing their backs out with scoliosis, nothing to be proud about, okay? I I want to have an open discussion about this. I don't want it to be a weird thing. I don't. I feel like it's too weird sometimes. Like, I'm proud to be black, but then there's reasons why I realize I shouldn't be proud to like some of the things and be black, right? Like, if somebody asks you, what artists have you seen in concert the most? My black ass should never respond, Dave Matthews Band, right? That shouldn't be the response to that. But I shouldn't be embarrassed by that. I shouldn't be embarrassed by that. And I realize that being black now, I get to do things that my ancestors never got to do. Like, I get to exercise my right now to be a little racist towards white people. And I've done it, right? I saw a guy at the store. He was on the ground shaking. And everyone's like, oh my God, he needs a doctor. He needs a doctor. And I saw he was white, so I stepped over him and I go, Black Lives Matter, nigga. And I never felt so proud in my life. They say there's privilege with stuff. They say there's white privilege with stuff. I think there's privilege for everybody. Like, I have privilege. Like, my privilege is like you guys see my outfit. Like nigga, what? Like, I get to do stuff like that. I get to say in coffee shops, I want more oat milk with that, right? That's a privilege that I get to say now. But this white privilege that I want, that I need, like, for example, I got in trouble for selling drugs, right? I got in trouble, big trouble, it was scary, it was the whole 9 yards. Everybody remembers the Kyle Rittenhouse thing, right? In the New York Times, it said, Kyle Rittenhouse styles as a medic and is now studying nursing. That's what it said in the New York Times. And when I got in trouble, it didn't say David Brooks styles as a businessman and is now studying marketing, right? Like, I need that type of privilege. But there's other privilege like I'm proud of with my friends. They had the privilege, my wife had the privilege to protest. I enjoyed that. I loved it for them. I did, I was proud of them. But I was even more happier that they got the full experience, right? So I was proud when they got pepper sprayed, right? I wanted, my eyes hurt, get some milk, bitch. Like, felt proud. I'd like to do things that my ancestors dreamed of. And one of my dreams is I would like to own white slaves. Now, you're uneasy about this, right? I'm gonna say the second part of the joke, you all will laugh, and then the third part is the best part, and you'll carry me out, okay? Let's just agree to this. I wanna own white slaves. And if you know anything about slavery, black slaves used to sing hymns in the fields to make the time go by, to feel together, to feel one with God, right? And clearly I know what my white slaves would sing. I would allow them to sing Sweet Caroline, right? And now you're all on board, I bet. And I would participate with them, right? I'd be on my horse named Lucifer with my hat, my whip, 2 whips for y'all, obviously, and y'all be out there white as fuck, picking cotton. Sweet Caroline. And I'd be like, bow, bow, back to work. Like, that's, told you it was good. I'll do one more race joke and then I'll cut it out. Because this side of the room's like, get out of here. They passed, I saw on Twitter, which is unfortunate to say out loud, but I saw on Twitter that Biden passed the law, the Emmett Till Anti-Lynching Act, right? And I was, like, surprised it took so long for that to be a law. But I also was upset because I didn't know it was illegal, right? So I was thinking, I could have been lynching some white people and not gotten into trouble. Like, I was very upset. I love seeing all y'all, like, fucking just, oh my God, like, you don't know what to think. Let me do something fun because I've done enough of that, and you guys are like, fuck that. I got a new job. That's what you gotta do. I got a new job. coke was more fun. But when you get a job, they do a background check, right? They do a background check and let you know. And I told my boss that was hiring me, I said, hey, I know you enjoyed the interview, you said you were gonna hire me, but my background check's gonna have some shit on it, right? And he said, as long as you didn't sell any drugs, you'll be fine. I was like, listen. It's gonna have some shit on it, right? We're in a moving company. It's weird. We move military people. Military moves. It's very awkward. We move mattresses. We have mattress runs where we move in Westville, Indiana, super rich neighborhood. And my coworkers are all like hillbillies. And when we went to a house the other day, and my coworker looks around and goes, "This house is too nice to steal shit." And I was like, you can't say that out loud. Period. We had a meeting about our performance, about how our performance was lacking. And he's gonna give us an incentive. This is how bad this job is. If you get to work on time and you shower, you get $50 extra on your paycheck. That's what I qualify for, right? So that's the job. We're talking about stuff. My boss somehow finds out I'm a comedian, and he tells a joke. Obviously it goes bad, and then he's trying to be funny, and he's super fucking racist. And he tells a joke about how he feels like he can say nigga because he's hired 4 black people. Right? He said that in our meeting. And I raised my hand and I said, so this meeting's about how we don't have an HR department, right? What that fucking means? Are you crazy, dog? Very interesting working a job. It's very interesting being a regular adult. It is. It is. I've just never done that. I just don't know. I just don't know what it's like. But it's fun. It's fun to do because I think you have to be responsible. And I think for me, I need to be more of a responsible adult. Like I would like to find love. I feel like that's what adults do. They find love and they have a partner. And I want to have one, but I've realized that I have a certain type of woman. Like I love whores. I love them nasty, and I love them violent, which is unfortunate. But I do. But I thought for a while there I wanted to marry a white woman. That's what I thought for a quick second. I did. Because I want a lake house, and I want shit. And I want to be the only nigga on the lake, right? Obviously in my robe, you know what I mean? Smoking a blunt and just being like, nice jet ski, Dylan. Like I want that type. Thank you guys. How's your day? I appreciate it. Thank you. Keep it going for David Brooks, everybody. All right, we got two left. We're doing great. You guys are doing great. This next guy, I'm very excited to see him. He's all the way from LA. Everybody give it up for Jared Castlebaum.
How are we doing out there, y'all? We having a fun time so far? We're having so much fun. Yeah, I'm originally from Indiana, but I live in LA now. My name is Jared. Whenever I tell people that, they're always like, oh, like the subway guy? Can we stop that? Can we... He's been in jail for 7 years, guys. Can we... I think we're done with that by now, right? I don't know if you know, it's not for something light. It's not a light offense. He's been in there for a while. You wouldn't be like, oh, Jeffrey. Like Jeffrey Epstein. You wouldn't do that. You don't do that to your Jeffreys in your life, right, guys? There's other better Jared options we should be talking about when you hear Jared, okay, right? One time I said that and somebody was like, oh, like Jared Leto. And somebody else was like, he's not that much better. And while I'm not the biggest fan of Jared Leto's acting, if you don't think Jared Leto's not that much better than Jared Fogle, you don't know what Jared Fogle did, right? It's not close. It's not close. He's been in federal prison for 7 years, okay? Because the FBI raided his home and confiscated a bunch of hard drives from a musty basement. It's so bad I'm not going to say it, right? If you didn't know what Jared Fogle did, and this is the first time you're hearing about this, Your assumption is correct, okay? That's what he did. You figured it out. Nice job. You did. It rhymes with mild cartography, okay? That's what he did. And he's been in jail for 7 years, and he's still the main Jared we talk about, right? He was in an advertising campaign for like, what, I don't know, 5 years, holding up a big pair of pants. And he's still the main Jared we know, right? Jared the Gallery of Jewelry. I'm just pitching Jareds at this point. There's other Jareds out there, guys. We need to come up with better Jared options out there. I'm trying to be the Jared, you know what I mean? That's it. When you think about it, those are like the 3 Jareds. That's it. Think of another Jared. Kushner. That's it. We're not going there tonight, but that's it. So maybe like, oh, Jared, like from the Sunday show. You know what I mean? That's what you're gonna be doing. I don't know. We'll see. But I've been thinking a lot about the movie Air Bud. You guys like Air Bud? Let's change to that. I freaking love Air Bud. Air Bud's such a fun movie, guys. We had such a string of movies in the 90s where things just didn't need to make sense. You know? If you don't know, Air Bud is a movie about a dog on a high school basketball team. It's a pretty fun time, okay? And it's such a fun time. They made 7 sequels. 1 for every other sport. And if you haven't seen Air Buddies, it's an adorable film, okay? It's an entire litter of puppies playing soccer. You're gonna have a good Friday night, okay? My favorite part of the original Air Bud movie is about halfway through the movie, they start asking themselves questions that they should have asked themselves at the beginning of the movie. Which is this question, is a dog allowed to play on this high school basketball team? And the referee, I kid you not, starts flipping through the rule book. And the camera zooms in and the music swells cinematically and he looks up and he goes, I don't know guys, there's nothing in the rules that says a dog can't play basketball. I don't think the dog went to that high school. I think that's the more important rule. That's the rule we should have started with, guys. There's other rules in there, okay? I don't think the dog had above a C average. Why is he on varsity, right? Like, that wouldn't have flown at my high school, you know what I mean? Right? What a world we'd live in if every single thing had to be like, but just to clarify, no dogs. That'd be an insane world. You don't want your flight attendant running down the aisle being like, wait, I don't know guys, there's nothing in the rules that says a dog can't fly this airplane. Like, yeah, I don't think the FAA would have thought that one up. I don't know. I don't think the dog has logged his 10,000 hours in the sky. I think that's the more important rule. But it's harder for dogs because it's 70,000 hours. You know what I mean? That's the stupidest and best joke I've ever written. Back to back, right there. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. You guys like High School Musical? We'll go there next. Freaking love High School Musical. I think High School Musical is way underrated. I think High School Musical is probably my favorite trilogy. I just like calling it a trilogy. You know what I mean? I think it's fun. And what's your favorite trilogy? Lord of the Rings? High School Musical. I think High School Musical is way underrated. I think if we put High School Musical on Broadway instead of putting it on Disney Channel, we'd be like, wow, this is high art, you know? It'd be like Hamilton or Dear Evan Hansen. People would be like, bop, 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 to the top. You'd be like, wow, what a metaphor for a struggling artist. That's so cool. It'd be like, we're all in this. It's like, wow, community engagement. That's really sweet, community engagement. There'd be some rich banker up in the second mezzanine on Broadway. He'd get done with High School Musical and he'd call his wife and be like, honey, I'm quitting Wells Fargo. I gotta get my head in the game of this marriage. If you thought I was done, there's more High School Musical. I think High School Musical is so stupid. Okay, this is my favorite deep dive of High School Musical. I have no idea how it's gonna work. This is my favorite thing to talk about with friends, so here we freaking go. High School Musical, the first song in High School Musical is called The Start of Something New, right? It's the song where they meet at the beginning of the movie at the karaoke. It's a very Romeo and Juliet, star-crossed lovers. They meet each other at this bar. Okay? But they're singing at this karaoke a song called Start of Something New, which to us is an original song for the movie High School Musical, written for High School Musical. You get where I'm going with this? At the bar that they sing it at, that they meet in this beautiful love connection, it's a song that everybody at the karaoke is singing along with. You don't do karaoke songs of original songs, right? You're not walking out to the karaoke like, here, plug in my aunts, right? You know what I mean? You're doing karaoke songs that are wildly popular, so that implies that the High School Musical universe is a different universe from our own. Because to us, it's an original song to the movie. But to them, it's the start of something new by what, Jason Derulo? I don't know. You know what I mean? Like they're like, oh, we know this song. That's fun, right? I don't know. That's it. Now, I'm gonna do one more High School Musical thing. You keep thinking like, there's no way he has more hot takes on High School Musical. But I do. This is only High School Musical 1, let me remind you. This next part's not quite as much about High School Musical, more about myself. One time I went on a date a few years ago that I learned that the date was not going to be compatible because of High School Musical, okay? Let me explain, right? I was talking with this date about our mutual love for musicals, which, as you can tell from this joke, a really good topic to go for, okay? And we were talking about Hamilton, yada yada. And this girl I was on a date with goes, yeah, when that came out in college, me and my roommate loved it. Which is a massive red flag for me, because that was in 5th grade when that came out. And so I'm sitting there for like 20 minutes being like, how do I bring this up? How do I bring up that I just did some quick mental math right here? We are 9 years apart, okay? This was her sophomore year of college, and so I have to bring this up, slide, figure out where in the conversation to fit it in, and I'm like, hey, you said college. I was in 5th grade, we're 9 years apart, and she straight up goes, you are a baby. And yeah, I'm still working out how to finish that one, but it's a fun story, right? When a date bombs because of High School Musical. Last movie I'll talk about is Parasite. You guys seen Parasite? Parasite was a fun movie. Best Picture winner a few years ago. I love Parasite. If you haven't seen Parasite, the one thing I'm going to say, I'm not going to spoil the whole movie, but all I'll say is that about halfway through the movie, the tone shifts very significantly. For the second half of the movie, it's very tense, right? It's a very tense, kind of more of a thriller-esque movie. And I was telling a buddy of mine about this, and I was like, yeah, halfway through the movie, the tone shifts, it's very tense, and your butthole is going to be tight for the rest of the movie. Right? It's like a tense movie. And my friend goes, what? My butthole's going to be tight for half a movie? I don't want my glutes to be sore the next day. And I said, wait a second. Is what I just gathered here, friend, that you think your butthole's the same thing as your glutes? Is that what we just gathered right here? You think that when your butthole tightens, that's the same thing as your glutes flexing, right? Or like when your sphincter puckers, you think that's the same thing? You guys trying it out there? Are you trying it? You are, you totally are. You can like tell the people that are trying it because you lose eye contact with them in that joke. It goes from like, haha, that's a good point, to like, right? Because like, they're different muscle groups down there, right? Because one is you're just flexing, losing eye contact, and the other one you're kind of bouncing in your seat a little bit. My favorite part of that is in roughly, well, like the same 30 seconds, I just made like, I don't know, what is this, 80 people tighten their butthole? That's fun. That's cool, y'all. You're giving me a lot of power tonight. They're gonna be like, how's that Sunday show at Black Circle? You're gonna be like, you will not believe what we did together. And we loved it. We had a great time. It was really community building, right? Because usually when you tighten your butthole, it's an accident, right? Usually it's involuntary, right? You guys just did it on purpose. That's cool. When's the last time you tightened your butthole on purpose, right? That's cool, because usually it's like, oh, grandma was racist or something like that, right? But you guys just did it on purpose. Like, that's fun, you know? It's more beautiful when you choose to do something in life, you know? Like, don't walk through life just like, you know, tighten your butthole on accident, you know? I'm gonna end on a few impressions. You guys like impressions? You guys like impressions? That's a question, okay. I'm gonna end on a couple impressions. I got like 4 of these. I love impressions. This first impression, whatever that idea of impressions is, throw it out the door, okay? We'll get on board for what's about to happen. It'll be more fun. This first impression, this is my impression of Clifford the Big Red Dog facing charges of cannibalism. Okay, this is Clifford the Big Red Dog facing charges of cannibalism. It's a dog-eat-dog world out there. That was it, guys. That was the whole impression. Thank you guys so much. Thank you. I appreciate it. 3 more. I got 3 more of these. That was pretty. Okay, thank you. I'm glad you liked it. The next impression, this is my impression of a recovering yet struggling alcoholic who goes to a Southern Baptist church for the first time. This is grape juice? Thank you guys so much. Thank you guys so much. That was my impression. This next one is my impression of my Latino friend saying hello to the king of the Greek gods. My personal favorite, this is my impression of a very scared hot dog, okay? This is my impression of a scared hot dog. A contest? Thank you so much. And my last impression, this is my impression of a comedian that moved from Indianapolis to Los Angeles, but is nervous that his parents are disappointed in him. Thank you guys so much.
Keep it going for Jared Casabon, everybody. You guys ready for your headliner? You guys ready for your headliner? Yeah. This last guy, he just recorded a special for Amazon. Everybody give it up for Blake Hammond.
Hey, keep it going for everybody else on the show tonight. Huh? It was a good show. Good show, dude. Hell yeah, hell yeah, hell yeah. All right, fuck yeah, dude. Hell yeah. Someone told me I look like I own a snake, and I don't know if you've had a one-sentence intervention before, but that shit changed my life. When I found out I look like I own a snake, I became a different person, dog. Like, I stopped eating dinner at the gas station. I got my GED. I sold my snake Yes, applause break out the gate. Yes, yes, yes. I will pander for applause. I do not care. Fuck yeah, dude. This is cool. I'm fat as fuck, dude. It's wild. Some of you just found out. I realized this the other day. If I ever wanted to try autoerotic asphyxiation, all I'd have to do is masturbate while I bent over to tie my shoe. Because, like, right here, I can't breathe at all. But I can totally come, you know what I mean? Like, the other day my friend was like, hey man, your shoe's untied. I'm like, I know, I'm saving it for later. Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah. You guys like cum, dude. Fuck yeah, dude. I like that about you guys. We all used to be it, so that's cool. I'm a fucking idiot. Clap if you guys know what pop punk or emo music is. Clap if you guys know. If you guys don't know what it is, it's basically a bunch of 26-year-old dudes crying about how hard it is to be 15. Like, that's the whole genre. It's the whole thing. And a lot of the dudes from those bands are getting in trouble for talking to underage girls, you know? Which makes sense, right? Because it was, oh, they're in their lyrics. Like, we should have known, you know? Because they used to have lyrics like, I wish it was summer vacation forever, so I could hang out with my girlfriend. I'm 34 years old. It's like, how did I miss that? You know what I mean? Is it jailbait if you're my soulmate? If age is just a number, then what's your number? Your dad's a dick. Cause we went to high school together. I can do that shit for an hour, dog. So, I have 1 million of those written. Are you kidding me? It's so easy to. Is it so wrong if I want to chaperone your prom? Like, it's so easy. I have a very beautiful singing voice. Not a pedophile, so. Cool, some of you didn't laugh at that. Very sick. This is good, man. This is a good show. I don't always get to do good shows. I did this show recently. I met this super young couple celebrating their 5-year anniversary. And I was like, wait, how old are you guys? And the dude goes, well, I'm 22 and she's 19. And I was like, wow, 3 of those years were illegal. And all of those years are probably pretty gross, too. And he goes, man, you understand, women age like wine. And I was like, yeah, I think you just like grapes. You gotta let that shit ferment, dude. It is the law. Also, you're 22. What the fuck do you know about wine, you know? He's like, I like my women like I like my wine. Barefoot from the gas station. Just the worst, dude. Yeah, it's a good line. Thank you. Yeah, 2 people. I'll take it. All right, so that's all my dumb little special. I'm gonna do some. Can I do some new jokes with you guys? Is that possible? Oh yeah, dude. I was gonna do it either way. I crashed my car a couple months ago. Yep, thanks. She's like, yeah, I'll cut you off. I crashed my car a couple months ago when it was snowing. And I don't know if you guys have ever crashed in the snow before, but it happens so slowly. You have time to have a full thought before you hit anything. Like, my car started sliding, and I was like, man, I wish I had better credit. I like the slow car crash, dude, I do. Because it gives you enough time to change the music just in case you die. That shit would be so embarrassing, dude. You crash your car, the airbags go off, they gotta use the jaws of life to open it up, and the first thing they hear is, hey, y'all crazy bitch, but you fuck so good, I'm on top of it, and just fucking bleeding out. The EMTs are like, should we save him? I don't even know, dude. It's like a quality of life issue. All right, fuck yeah, dude. You guys hate Buck Cherry. That's it. Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah, dude. Sometimes I do that joke and people love Buck Cherry. All right, fuck it. 1 for 1, bitch. Here we go. Joke number 2. I think we should confront bigotry head on, which is why I still eat at Chick-fil-A, and some of you recognize that as a joke. That's cool. I was at Chick-fil-A with my friend the other day, and as we were leaving, he goes, dude, that chicken's so good, I don't even care that they're racist. I was like, dude, Chick-fil-A's not known for being racist. They're known for being homophobic. And he goes, yeah, but they sell fried chicken. And I was like, see, that's racist. And he goes, dude, don't be gay. And I was like, and that's homophobic. Do you see the difference? Anyways, I was the friend in that story, but what are you going to do? All right, 2 for 2. I was a little worried about that one, but I'll fucking take it, baby. This new special's going to rip. All right. The end of this one's a little wild, but you guys are cool, and it's the end of the show. Who gives a shit? I think as a kid, you could tell what kind of sleepover you were at by what they offered you to drink. You know? Like, if they offered you Mountain Dew, you were like, cool, I'm gonna smell like cigarettes in the morning. Or if they offered you milk or water, you were like, fuck, we're gonna have to pray before dinner. One time I went to my friend's house and they offered me wine, and I was like, sick, I'm gonna be molested in the morning. That's the story of how I became an Eagle Scout. But you guys know there's a badge for keep it a secret? It's crazy. Yeah. That dude at the bar loves that I got molested, dude. What troop you in, brother?
Oh, shit.
He's like, yeah, I was there. I didn't do anything about it, so I figured I could clap. All right. You guys tensed up a little bit, but what are you going to do? That's fun, man. I have a fiance, and she's much prettier than you guys are imagining right now. My fiance took the batteries out of my Xbox controller, and she put them into her vibrator. And my friend was like, oh man, that means she wants to have sex. I was like, nah, that means she wants to have an orgasm. Those are 2 separate events. My friend was making fun. He's like, oh, you can't make your fiance come? I was like, dude, it's 2022. I don't make women do anything. So, sorry for being an ally, ladies. Oh, yeah, we could all have a good laugh about how she's unhappy. That's fun. Damn, dude, these fucking 4 more new ones, and then I'm gonna hit you with the fucking bangers, dude. Fucking snake daddies in town now, dude. I went to a big and tall store for the first time recently, and you know what I noticed? No tall people. There's just a bunch of pigs in there, dude. Looked like a gym on New Year's Day. It was just big people, dog. Alright, that's the beginning of a new joke. I don't know where that's going, but that's pretty funny. In high school, this one's hot off the presses, dude. I'm excited to tell this one. In high school, I took 4 years of Spanish class, which is like 1 week in landscaping, but but my dad forced me to take Spanish classes. He was like, oh, they're moving all the jobs to Mexico, so you gotta learn Spanish. I was like, dude, do you think I'm gonna move to Mexico to steal their jobs? I can't even get a job in English, my guy. Like, gonna reverse Fox News these people? That's crazy. Dude, they don't teach you anything in high school Spanish, man. They teach you phrases that you've never said in English. Yeah? Like, where is the library? Dog, I have never said that. You might as well taught me how to say, where is the gym? Or what are your vegan options? It's the same shit. Where is the bathroom? Dude, I will walk into the kitchen of an Applebee's before I ask you where the bathroom is. I will piss outside of an Applebee's before I ask you where the bathroom is. Either way, people are gonna think I work at Applebee's. But the one day of Spanish I do remember though is the day they taught us the phrase, no habla español. And I was like, what are we doing here? It felt like the teacher gave up. Like, that's like a karate instructor who just gives you a gun, you know? All right, that one's okay. I'm gonna give that one a minus, but the stuff's there. This one's a banger though. I've been sober for 7 years, and I think tonight's the night. No, don't fucking cut. I'm over it, and a lot of people, when they find out I'm like sober, they're like, oh, I bet drinking holidays are hard for you, like St. Patrick's Day. And I'm like, not really, because like drinking wasn't my problem, you know? Like if there was a holiday where we snorted Percocet in the bathroom, that would be an issue. So Easter's tough, but he is risen. No, I did used to snort pills for a couple of reasons. First of all, like it gets you higher faster, right? And also, second of all, I am bad at swallowing pills. And you can't be at a drug dealer's house and be like, hey man, thanks for the Oxycontin, but do you have some cheese I can roll this pill up in? Yeah, I take pills like a dog, so don't worry, I'm not gonna OD. I got too much peanut butter in my mouth. Damn, dude, I want to go darker, but you guys feel like... Okay, well, fucking remember you said that. When the stuff comes out of my mouth. I think I broke a lady. Alright, check this. This is the darkest joke I'll do, probably. So, here we go. I was at the gun store the other day. I was buying a gun. They shouldn't have let me, but I was at the gun store and they were like paper or plastic, and I was like, just put it in my mouth. I'll wear it out. You know what I mean? If you don't laugh at that, then it's like pushing me closer. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's really on you. Yeah, you should have laughed harder. That's funny, man. Goddamn, I'm funny. You guys like weird shit, dude. That's cool. I like that about you. I'm gonna tell you this fucking weird ass story. You guys like comedy too, so fuck yeah, dude. All right. I haven't told this story in a while, so I'm excited. One time I was about to have sex with this lady, and she's like, I want you to hold a knife to my throat. And I was like, a knife? And she was like, yeah, I have a fantasy about having sex with a criminal. And I was like, well, first of all, I'm double parked right now, so you can mark that off your list. Second of all, when I'm holding a knife, I don't look like a criminal. I look like a failed celebrity chef. You know what I mean? Just some Guy Fieri knockoff, but I can't say Flavortown because it's trademarked. So, like, y'all want to go down to Seasoning City? Like, the funniest part to me is right before we had sex, she goes, do you have protection? I'm like, bitch, you just gave me a knife. Do you have protection? Like, I feel like you should have a gun, you know? She was so hot, though, dude. It was crazy. So, I mean, obviously, right, knife play wasn't a deterrent, but... I brought her around my friends once, and they were like, damn, dude, how'd you pull her? Did you put a gun to her head? And I was like, damn, you guys know her? That's crazy. Yeah, me and my friends fucked that lady, but... That's pretty cool, right? If you guys want to hear that story again, watch my special on Amazon Prime. It's called Me and My Friends Fuck That Lady. It's not called that. I don't know what it's called yet. I'll tell you one more weird story, and then I'm going to do a bit, and then I'm going to go. I went to a wedding not too long ago, and I got to witness the greatest best man speech of all time. Because this dude goes up there, and he goes, I'm going to keep this short and sweet. My name is Dan, and I'm the manager of the Richmond Papa John's. And then he paused to let that sink in. So I just started clapping. I was like, hell yeah, you are, dude. This is why I came, baby. This is going to be amazing. And then here's the thing. Rest of the speech, not at all about Papa John's. Not even about pizza. It's about like him and the groom growing up together and shit. It was weird. But that makes me think that's how Dan introduces himself all the time. I like to imagine Dan at AA. He's just like, hi, my name is Dan, manager of the Richmond Papa John's. And I'm an alcoholic. And they're like, hi, Dan, manager of the Richmond Papa John's. He knows it's supposed to be anonymous, right? So I makes a reservation at a restaurant. He's like, yeah, it's Peter, manager of the Richmond Papa John's. It's him for one. It's lonely at the top. So, I don't want Dan to die by any means, but I would love to read Dan's headstone at some point, right? It just says, here lies Dan, former manager of the Richmond Papa John's. Better ingredients, better pizza, better son, better father, better husband, who's now in a better place. Domino's. Well, guys didn't like that one, so that's, fuck me, dude. I knew I fucking flew too close to the sun. That's all right. I was like, man, these guys are weird. Let's fucking do the weird one. Damn it. That's all good. Huh? Oh, cool. Thank you. I liked it. The one guy laughing. I know you liked it, dog. I could hear you alone. Anyways, that's not really special. Don't listen to that part. It is. It crushes. All right, I'm going to do this. I'm going to go. A lot of comedians will do like merch pitches during their act. I don't have merch. What I do have is a Twitter account because they're free. So I'd like to do a Twitter pitch for you guys. This is some of the hot content you would get if you followed me on Twitter at Big Rad Machine. Here we go, baby. My cousin is a lot like herpes because if you give him pills, he'll go away. Thank you so much. Follow me on Twitter. I think Cracker Barrel's the most honest restaurant name of all time. Thank you so much. Follow me on Twitter. I was in the Walmart parking lot the other day, but nobody was screaming, so I thought I accidentally went to Target. Thank you so much. Yo, how funny would it be if we found out that Joe Biden was born in Kenya? The claps don't count unless you follow me. I was a little nervous to tell that Joe Biden joke in here, I'm not gonna lie. But then I saw some camo, so I knew it was safe. My ex-girlfriend hated that I watched porn, so one day she suggested that we make a sex tape so I could watch that instead. And listen, I like the NBA, but I don't want to watch me play basketball. The Cleveland Indians changed their name to the Cleveland Guardians, which makes sense because no one in Cleveland has legal custody of their kids. Oh, we're gonna act like we're from Cleveland. I know. I think there's a double standard for fat people in this country, you know? Like if a skinny person says, I like being choked in bed, you're like, ooh, they're kinky. But if I say I like being choked in bed, you're like, ooh, he has sleep apnea. You guys are, hell yeah, I got that guy. You guys are smart, I could do this. I never get to do this joke, because I'm in front of fucking hillbillies all the time. I watched a documentary recently on the rise of Nazi ideology in the Amish community, right? Which is a weird combination, right? Like an Amish Nazi. Was that just a dude that hates electricity but loves power? Like it's a... Yeah, fucking please follow me. You guys know who Pete Buttigieg is? Yeah, you guys like him? Well, I fucking zing his ass on this one. I think it's awesome that Pete Buttigieg is out there dispelling the stereotype that all gay people are cool and fun. That's right, Mayor Pete. Don't come back here, bitch. No, I'm kidding. Fix our roads. Do you guys know who Tanya Harding is? Do you guys like her? Well, I fucking zing her ass on this one. I just found out that Tanya Harding has a sex tape, and I can't believe it's not called Laying Pipe. Oh, you fucking owed it. It's 30 years old. Get over it. The guy who hit fucking Nancy Kerrigan's in the back. This next one's too fucked up. I'm not gonna do it. Okay, well, I'm gonna say it. I threw it on the ground, but I have it memorized. I won't even tweet this, so. I think that the band Linkin Park, already, dude, already. I think that the band Linkin Park made music for kids who were too afraid to shoot up their school. Shut up. Did I get it exactly right? You know what my favorite part about that is? Just imagine some kid writing his manifesto and he's just like, it starts with one thing. Sorry. I got 2 more tweets. You guys are so much fun. Sometimes I put the dumbest conversations I have with people on Twitter. This is a real conversation I have with my coworker. He comes up to me, he goes, the deep state is trafficking children. I was like, how do you know that? He goes, because they took my kids. I was like, dog, that's not the deep state. That's just the regular state. It's funny because he doesn't have his kids anymore. Oh, man. He'll see that joke before he sees his kids. Oh, he's from Cleveland. Shut up. All right, one more. You guys know who Tucker Carlson is? Do you guys like him? Well, I fucking zing his ass on this one. I think Tucker Carlson looks like he builds model trains that all go to Auschwitz. All right, that's it for me. Follow me on Twitter. I'm Blake Hammond. Thank you so much.
One more time for Blake Hammond, everybody. Give it up for all the comments we saw tonight. Give it up for the staff working hard here at Black Circle. Come back next week. The show's always free on Sundays. Headliner's Tim McLaughlin, very funny guy, here from Indiana. My name's been Jake Russell Smith. Everybody drive safe and have a nice night. Thanks.